Another day, another GitHub flaw. Cybercriminals have been smart again. Last week, we've talked about the open source community and their discovery of GitHub's latest exploitation to distribute malicious code hidden in open source repositories. 1 week later, another GitHub flaw or design decision is being abused by hackers to, once again, distribute malware to unsuspecting developers. But this time, we're talking about Microsoft repositories. Cybercriminals have been smart again and found a way to use legitimate links to Microsoft repositories to distribute their malware. Let me ask you a question. If you would want to install the latest version of Microsoft's C++ standard library STL, browse for packages, and find a site that has the following URL as a downloadable, would you trust this URL? Most people would answer, yes, this is an official repository of Microsoft. It won't get any better and secure than this, right? If there were anything odd with that repository, it would certainly not be accepted by Microsoft or deleted immediately, right? Well, let's see how it works. You open a GitHub repository, navigate to the commit history, choose one arbitrary commit, write a comment, and attach a file to it. Now see what happens. There is a file uploaded to the CDN of the repository without being part of the codebase. You can even use an URL to this very file, which is prefixed with the trustworthy Microsoft GitHub URL. Well, okay, but that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Microsoft will surely remove this comment as soon as possible. And that is right. But now it's time to spill the tea. Look what happens if I write a comment and decide to not save it. Whoops! We have the file uploaded and persisted to the Microsoft repository anyway. That way, Microsoft maintainers will actually never know that this file was uploaded because you covered your tracks completely.
I've never met this man in my life.
And your officially Microsoft greenwashed URL to this file will continue to work forever. So this sounds really bad, doesn't it? But there's surely a way that maintainers of that repository can browse and delete these files, right? Nope. There's no option as of right now that allows to manage the files uploaded to GitHub CDN and related to your repository. And on top of that, disabling comments would be a feasible sacrifice. And while this is possible, the feature is limited to a maximum of 6 months at a time. Affected repository owners are dependent on GitHub's support to scan and delete those files. But this will in most cases only be possible when these malicious files are detected and reported via the news or known vulnerabilities. That is, after the initial damage is already done. Noteworthy to say that this is not only possible for Microsoft's repositories, but to any repository there is on GitHub. The current most well-known ones are including but not limited to the Lua Smart Loader software, Microsoft's C++ standard library STL, and Microsoft's VC Package Manager, and surely more to come. Hopefully, GitHub will react on this quickly. So let's have some real talk. GitHub counts to the most amazing platforms for us developers. We have to protect it at any cost. With this new vulnerability and the creative exploitation of GitHub's features to put malicious code into open source repositories from last week, we have to stay woke. Attackers creeping. Go check out my video about GitHub's latest and most dangerous vulnerability if you haven't yet, because if you stayed this long, you will want to see what's down there. Take care. Bye.